right. First of all, thank you very much for giving me your time. This one is going to be like a small chit chat regarding your new release and pretty much what happened in the past. Let's start with just tell me what you are at the moment and what you're doing. Who's up?
Right, you want to take it away?
Bill, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So we are, you got Bill, myself, Frederick, and Adam from Grizfolk here. And we have our new album, self-titled, that is coming out actually a week from today. It's officially 1 week now. Our third album will be coming out.
Grant, are you feeling, guys, about to having your third album coming in 1 week? What's the emotion about?
We're pretty excited, honestly. It took a lot for us to get to this point. We started making the album pre-lockdown, pre-pandemic, and then everything hit kind of right in the middle of that recording process for us. So it was interesting because we made about 4 songs, I guess, 5 songs, the normal way, all of us in a studio, all of us together, and then the rest of it we kind of had to figure out on the fly, just like everybody else, how to make it happen. And we pieced it together with construction paper and Scotch tape, but we're pretty happy with how it turned out.
Nice. Like that.
Yeah, some of the songs on the record we wrote a long time ago. And actually some of them we started producing a long time ago or tried to produce. So really we've been working on this album for like 7 years or something. So it feels really good to finally get these songs out into the world.
One other question actually I wanted to bring, this one is your third album and it actually comes as a self-titled album. Why that? Why do you guys choose actually as a third album to come as a self-title?
Yeah, I think it's back to what Adam talked about, that it's a record that it's got songs from the earlier days, like the start of Grizfolk, and then new songs that we just wrote. So it's like the whole spectrum of a journey as a band. And then also this the sound of the songs and lyrics are like a journey of, I guess, those years that we've been together. So like it felt good to just call it Grizfolk because it had everything, in it in a way. And also that we're, really proud of it. It came together really beautifully. Just kind of feeling the flow, and then let, new songs and old songs come together in a beautiful way. And it's just beautiful when that happens, like, especially when you do a sequence for an album and then like, yeah, I think these songs are great. And then you put them in an order and like, whoa, there's actually like a flow to the sequence. And these lyrics kind of feels like almost like a movie. Like you start in this setting, you go to this setting. So it's kind of magical when you put the sequence together because it blows your mind every time that these songs can work together. And then when you play live and you play the new songs with the old songs, it creates a new sequence of flow. And it just comes together every time. For some reason, it works. I think for most bands. But yeah, we were lucky it worked this time. So we wanted to call it Grizfolk just because it feels like us, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna also just add that it feels like, I feel like a name, when you name a record, it sort of feels like an era. It's like this takes place during a certain period of time and it has boundaries. And this record feels like it expands further than a boundary. And so for me personally, it feels like it didn't need a name, for that reason, because it sort of takes place the whole career that we've had.
You guys been together for a long time, isn't it? This Sebastian coming in as well, so I will admit Sebastian meanwhile.
Oh yeah.
Hey Sebastian, can you hear us?
Yes.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, yeah.
There we go.
Somebody, you're right there.
That
Where
was
are you?
hard.
In the car?
Yeah, I'm about to go into this. I'm in this crazy commercial where I'm acting as like one of the there's like 50 talent actors for this the alcohol beverage Hennessy.
Hennessy, yeah, I'm aware. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a crazy production. There are like 50 people around this kind of 75-meter long table,
All right.
and it's like a one shot kind of thing that goes through the whole table. So there's dancers and there's like football hooligans and everything. It's crazy.
Oh, dude, that sounds grand. Sounds cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Different experience.
Cool. Sebastian, sorry to interrupt you. We were just talking about why the album was actually a self-title as a third album, just to get you into the conversation, because we cracked down no knowing actually if we were joining or not. Going back into the conversation though, so you guys started this is a long process album. Let's talk in this way. So this one has been like songs that you guys wrote from the beginning of your career. You've been together for a longer so far? Let's say about 15 years, 10 years?
For 10 years?
Almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
so been together for 10 years, songs from the beginning of your career, let's say, until now. Songs has been evolving for sure, because it's evolving through the time with all musicians. Is basically, you, for your point of view, can you feel the differences in between the sound of the old Grizfolk with the new one? Through the album, or as basically it's been worked out in a way that it will be absolutely homogenic?
It feels pretty cohesive, honestly. I think that's why. Yeah, it's funny because we're always writing, like constantly writing songs, recording, even trying to get things right. And so one of the reasons we didn't put out some of these old songs is because maybe we didn't have the context for them in the past. You know, we didn't have the right vessel, and they didn't make sense with some of the songs that were on our first two albums. But now, looking at it in this light, you know, at this moment in time, and where we are as artists and where we are as a band, the new songs maybe that we were writing kind of provided that vessel for these old songs that we couldn't quite get right in the past, to finally get them perfect, you know, and finally get them to sound the way we want them to sound, and to be a part of a whole album that, you know, makes sense to us.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's, if you think about it the way of like, it's just lyrics and melody, and then production can be whatever. The lyrics feels like timeless in a way. It should work in different eras with different productions that you're feeling. And some of the songs even felt like Ripples was one of the songs that we wrote, one of the first songs we wrote that we played live that really worked well live, but we couldn't figure out the right way to capture it on a record. And the lyrics meant something back then. It means, for me, it means something completely different now. So it almost felt like even more contemporary with the time right now. So that's kind of magical when that happens. Same thing with California High, I think, which was an older song that just came together right now at the right time, I think, production wise and lyric wise. So sometimes it's good to just wait, you know, for the right time for the songs to come out, you know, when we feel like, not, you know, when they're ready in a way.
It'd be interesting to reimagine some of our, like, take some of the songs from Waking Up the Giants and re-record them as if we were trying to do it like make Vagabonds fit on Rarest of Birds, or make you know, Queen of the Desert fit on Waking Up the Giants or something.
We should do that. That's cool.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, I feel the new record, we sort of took a lot of layers away. We used to layer a lot of different sounds, and that was sort of how we stumbled upon our original sound as Grizfolk, was by blending electronic music and Americana and rock. And I feel like now it's like we looked more at the song itself for this record. We were actually just looking at, just take the music away, like what is actually still there, and then let's pick the best material. And I feel like that's sort of how we landed it.
Yeah,
at
it's
this
what I
record.
thought too. I think for the first record, getting signed to a major label and then getting big budget and like adding a lot of stuff, to the productions, but also for us at that time to claim like a new sound, we needed to do like a new hybrid sound. Whereas like now we can just do whatever we want, in a way. So it's not that kind of pressure. Like we have to claim a sound. Let's just let the song speak for themselves. And then like, I mean, it's still like a hybrid sound, but it's a little bit, less is more kind of vibe, I think. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I guess you guys got a bit more chilled in a way with the less pressure during the process of composition, or maybe just re-looking at the songs like that one that were coming from the past. So this one is the beauty of having the third album coming out. You're already having the opportunity to maybe don't want to say to don't impress, but to because it sounds really weird, but more about to give it the way you want it to the people, like to do not overcomplicate the things, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk about, first of all, I would like to thank you because you were releasing the album in a really strange time. I mean, it's been a strange time for a long time now. I mean, it's been a strange time for about almost 2 years. But I mean, like, we're speaking with many bands, in particular here in UK, now we're scared actually to release. We're scared to release because we're just thinking about we can't play live. And after Mogwai just made a big announcement that actually they will be releasing the new album, and they released it. That was great. And they started to do live streaming that went very well, and it was a big I told you so to the music industry that we shouldn't stop everything just because we cannot do live events. But anyway, thank you very much, you guys, because it's been really courageous to deliver the album during this time. I would like to know you personally, how did you manage during pandemic? What you were doing during pandemic, and it was easier to create with actually having more time in your hands to, I don't know if you guys having another jobs and things like that, but being like completely hands off from the world and being closed in your house?
I spent a lot of time walking. That was like the one thing I picked up. I think right when the pandemic hit, I bought a new pair of running shoes. And I don't know if this is what you're asking, like what we've been actually doing, but I have a dog and I walk like 5 miles a day or something. And I break it up into like 4 different walks throughout the day. And I think that's the only way I've stayed sane, honestly.
Yeah, I think just like looking at the process of making the record during the pandemic, every album that we've made has been in a different way. And I think if we were a band that like, we do it in a certain way, I think it would have been maybe a little bit harder during this time. But because like the first record, we wrote it and we started in Santa Monica, and then we went on tour and kind of wrote a lot of it on tour. And then after tour, then went into the studio and then, went back and forth kind of in different studios. So, and then Rarest of Birds was a totally different process. And then this one is, obviously a very different process as well. So I think just because we don't have a certain way of making a record, I think it actually made it easier in that sense to adapt to the situation. Being apart from each other and kind of it's like kind of stitching it together through Zooms and traveling to Nashville. And we actually were lucky that we started the recording process before the pandemic hit, so we were in the studio and kind of like felt each other's energy in a sense with Rich Costi, and then kind of taking that to the next songs that we had to do in the pandemic and being separate from each other.
Yeah, and it was kind of like scary at first when we figured like, oh, we only got 4 songs done, and now we're in this position. And we were like, we have to finish 6 songs in a pandemic, right? So what do we do? But we took help from a couple amazing producers out of Nashville, since Adam is there, Bill was there, and then me and Sebastian just recorded here from LA. And it was, you know, stitching stuff together, but it's actually worked out really well, that process. And we're so lucky we could do it that way, because then we could get it record done. And like you said, to your point of like, you know, releasing a record when you can't tour, you know, like we totally feel that argument, because the songs come alive when you tour. But also a lot of people had to let go of that fear, like, let's just release a record right now. People want to hear new music. And then, you know, when we can tour again, let's release another record, you know, right then, you know. So maybe we'll release an extra record just because we have this time. So if you look at it that way, then it's like, I mean, I know a lot of bands kind of made that decision. They were like, we gotta wait, and then like, oh, let's just release something. Come on, it's and then have fun with it. Like Foo Fighters release like the Bee Gees cover record, you know. It's like, that's awesome. Like people need something like that, and then people obviously want to hear it live, but it's also something that people can listen to while they wait for the tour, you know. So I like that.
Yeah, we really want to go back on tour though. One of our favorite shows was in Milan.
Oh, wow.
Oh man, it was
Yeah.
unbelievable. We played at the Milano Forum. Is that
Forum
right?
di Milano, sì.
Okay.
That's fair enough. I mean, like,
Man, it was cool. It was honestly, it was like the most magical experience that I've ever had personally. And everything else is like, everything's all right, but it's not quite as cool as that experience.
Yeah, we can't beat that show. It was truly magical, like unbelievable, you know, in every way. It just felt like a dream the whole day, you know. Bill, you should tell the story, because I wasn't there in the morning. No, you were sleeping.
Yeah, I think it was Adam and Sebastian, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. They have the
Yeah.
time.
right, what happened there? I
What?
really want to know now.
Oh,
Yeah,
you mean like waking up at the arena? You mean?
yeah.
Yeah, because you know,
I mean the whole day.
well, the whole day was a blur. But I remember like waking up because you're kind of like you wake up in a different parking lot essentially, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of look the same, all of them. And you have these like small little windows on the tour bus, right? So you kind of like you wake up and you kind of look out, and usually it's like either another bus wall kind of thing, you know, right next to you, so you don't really know where you are. But at this one, it was just like you kind of open it up, and there's just like maybe like 30 people standing outside of a gate, just going like ah,
Oh,
with it with an Italian flag that says Grizfolk. And I was like, like whoa, what is this? Like where? Oh my god! Like that's crazy, you know. Like not expecting, because first of all, our music wasn't released at this point. You know, it was like it was through YouTube, and like I think they found our songs through YouTube and stuff like that. So the dedication and like the appreciation for like that we got as an opening band was just like overwhelming and so surprising for us, you know, because we didn't expect anyone to know us. We didn't expect anyone to know the songs. And yeah, it was, you know, I think the Italian like musical like culture. I think they are very um you know, they love discovering new bands, and I think they like do the research. I feel, you know, they don't just like okay show up. I feel some people are just there for the headlining act, and if they get an opening act, it's, you know, it's good, you know, it's a little plus in the corner. But I don't know, I was so amazed and so like, you know, humbled by how, you know, the research they did, and like learned our songs, you know. It was pretty cool to experience.
Cool. Like waking up to that and then trying to get out of the arena. And then we took the train into the city, walked around, blew my mind. I mean, what a beautiful city. And then going back to the arena after that and getting ready for the show. Sebastian had a couple of friends from Sweden there, so it felt like, you know, really special to have them around. And then when we walked up on stage, it was just like, this is not real, you know. And then we played a song called Cosmic Angel, which is kind of more like a ballad. And then people started pulling out, you know, the lighters, and we're like, what? Like, we haven't seen lighters in, we didn't, that was like in the 80s, right? So we were like, what's going on? You know, 7,000 people doing this, you know, and we got super emotionally, obviously. And it was just gorgeous, like out of a dream for sure. I don't think, you know, I think we all just dreamt that. So we want to come back to Italy, all of it, you know, not just Milan. We want to explore the whole.
I'm glad you guys liked Milan. I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's actually one of my favorite cities. I'm coming from the south. I'm coming from Naples, so yeah. So it's a bit kind of a different. Yeah, you were right when you guys were saying that we do really appreciate music. Is even because we are not really exposed that much, so we don't have that much choice sometimes, and it's happening because when I came here in UK the first 3 years, I completely flipped out because it was like nights which I have to choose in between like 5 of my favorite bands. In Italy, you get in one of your favorite band every 4 years. So that's why we are really kind of excited when something is coming. Regarding Italian markets, there was one of the question actually. I'm just taking the time actually for that. So what's you guys thinking about that? So is it one of your projects actually to get into the Italian market?
Oh yeah, we're very interested in you know, being active in the Italian market as much as possible. I think if COVID wasn't happening right now, we'd probably be there sitting at a coffee shop having this conversation right now.
Yeah, we were lucky. Like at the beginning of the year, RTL started playing our song California High and got some good traction from that. And then, yeah, I mean, it was so cool to see. It was like going through a pandemic and then seeing a song take off in that way. It was like such a beautiful thing to see in a market that we've only played once. So, and it was cool that that RTL and all the radio stations have all played that song. You know, we didn't expect that song to get that kind of chance. You know, it's about, you know, California and you know, it kind of like, it was beautiful to see that. And we try to hone in on that energy, and if people want to hear us, you know, we want to be able to play for them live too, you know. So hopefully we can come over soon, you know.
Yeah, you guys. Oh, sorry. Somebody was talking. Did I interrupt anyone? No. Okay, so it was just my echo in this case. So you guys, you're living in California at the moment. All of you are based in California, right? Am I right? No.
Everybody's in Los Angeles except for me. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay. But the band is actually is half Swedish, half American, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you guys meet each other then? So how that happen?
We all met in Los Angeles. Adam at the time was living in Venice and California, not Italy. And we all met. We all met there. We all played. Adam and Bill were in a band at one point, and even Fred was in a band at one point. And then I randomly met Frederick through my roommate at the time, saying like, "Hey, there's another Swede living down the street. You should go meet him." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I met him through a mutual friend, and he introduced me to Adam, who I have randomly met three years prior to that, not knowing that they knew each other. I met Bill at a random party playing board games, not knowing that I was going to be in a band with him maybe 3 years later. It's weird how it just like kind of connected. But yeah, we all met in Los Angeles. So, yeah.
To that story, when you and Bill met at Allison's house, I was walking by her house yesterday thinking about that. because I live like 3 blocks away from her now. So it's like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
it's so weird that you brought that
Yeah.
up. Yeah, it was kind of
Yeah.
like that, you know, like everything kind of fell into place. And then we wrote one song, you know, did a jam session. Like, was that the first time you met like Adam for real, that writing session?
No, I saw Adam and Bill actually play at the a speakeasy place. It was called Strongholds
Oh, yeah,
in Venice. And that's where like kind of, you know, like Lucas Nelson would play like small little acoustic sessions, and like there's like a cool little local scene, but it was a little bit like because they weren't really legal, and they weren't allowed to, like, you know, a lot of people that would bring their alcohol and that kind of thing.
Weren't allowed to do drugs there, but we were.
Yeah, exactly.
So we were trying to keep it.
Yeah, don't tell too many people about this place, kind of thing, right? And that's where I actually saw them, and I thought they sounded amazing. So I actually went up to them as, like, you know, a fan, and said, I talked to Adam, I think, and said, "Hey man, you sound great, blah blah blah." And he asked me where I was from. I was like, Sweden. He's like, "Oh, I'm actually going to Sweden soon." I'm like, "Well, you know, give me you know, hit me up when you're there." And I didn't know he was actually going to Sweden with Frederick, because I didn't know Frederick at that time. So yeah, it is weird how it all just like kind of connected.
Looks like it meant to be, right?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, right.
And that was the only conversation with Adam until we had that writing session.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then when I had the writing session, that was like kind of the first the first time in the room with him in the studio.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn off my video because I have to go in, but I'll be listening to it, and I can talk, but I can't be on video anymore.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. Okay. We're gonna be having like a few more questions, no worries. I don't want to steal the time of anyone, and I mean, it's been really good from you guys actually to be here with me. Thank you very much.
It's fun. It's fun talking. Keep on talking. I'll be. Yeah.
Thank you. So guys, actually it looks like it really meant to be. Like you guys who found each other being together at the end. I wanted to talk a bit about the album, just trying to understand a couple of things regarding Fumes, which is the track, I mean, like, it's the opening track as well. And it's been hitting me particularly because it's one of the less upbeat song of the album, more emotional, more intimate. How it started? Well, I mean, how you guys made these Fumes? Because I mean, like, I've been absolutely obsessed with it for about a week straight. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow, thank you. That's so cool. Yeah.
Well,
you want to take it, Bill?
Sure. Yeah. That was, trying to think when we wrote that song in Nashville right before we did we were there to play a festival, and I think we tried writing something the day before and then didn't work, and then late night we came back and we wrote that one really quickly. Just kind of came out, which sometimes, like you were saying yesterday, Adam, it's like your favorite kind of song when we can work on ideas and nothing really comes out, and then for whatever reason, 5 minutes a whole song comes out, and it's a song like Fumes, you know. And it's like, maybe you have to do all that work, to put in those hours of working to get the gears turning in order for that one idea to just kind of pop out, you know. But yeah, that's one of our favorite songs on the record. Anyway, we wrote that one probably a year prior to starting to record it, and then yeah, we recorded it in Nashville with Randall Kent.
And at the time we had a different, I think, mindset to the lyrics, and then the lyrics felt like they can mean something going throughout the pandemic, something else throughout the pandemic. And then now when we put it out as a single, it felt like, now it's the perfect time now for the lyrics and that story to come out. And we get to make a beautiful music video with a friend, Anthony, and directed by Casey, Sebastian's girlfriend, and it just came together so beautifully as well. Like that kind of thing of like no effort really. It's just feeling the flow of things. So that was really cool. Like, you know, writing the song was, you know, good flow. You know, recording the song was a good flow, and then music video was good flow. It's so hard to hit those three things in one song, but for some reason that song gave us that gift of like no effort. It just came together beautifully. So
it doesn't happen very often, isn't it? Sometimes actually takes really hard work to compose a song together, and maybe even matching all the, you know, musical tastes of all the people around the table, isn't it?
yeah.
Another question regarding music and composition in particular. Are you composing together? Yeah, is anyone bringing something, or are you starting from the riff and we build it up around?
It's kind of always different, I think. So we've worked with a couple outside writers too on this record. Some people in Nashville that we respect that are doing some great things too. Other producers, um, and but it's always different. You know, every song is totally different. Some of the songs on the record are written with one of our old bandmates, actually, California High and um, The Ripple, and is there anything else? Oh, Money.
Okay, well, quite a few.
Yeah, so it's kind of, you know, it's kind of just it's all over the place, honestly.
Yeah, and I think that's what made this record exciting in a way of like, we as a band we like to wear different hats, right? Like for each song it's a different process, and everybody loves being a part of the lyric writing, the melodies and the production, you know. So it's always so easy in a way of like, it feels like we're excited about every part of the songwriting process and production process. And then the fact that we brought in like writers that we really respect and like, and try to chase those like really unique you know, lyrics and stories and melodies and all that. But you know, just to get a different perspective too. And when it works, bringing in an outside writer, it's like really cool because it kind of shifts the energy around. And we were lucky enough to work with, you know, a lot of talented people, not just people in Nashville, but Ethan Johns on California High, and Ollie Chinanen on Money. Ollie's like an incredible writer, and we were just so fortunate to work with him. And he comes from more of a soul R&B hip hop world, so he brought in like such a cool flavor into that song. So you know, it made the record a lot broader, more of a hybrid record, because we get put in, or we did sessions with people that are not really like doing Grizfolk music, you know. But yeah, it's so exciting. Every time we bring an outside writer, it just creates a new energy, and it just usually becomes a really cool song, unique song. So
Cool. You guys already booked gigs like everyone is doing for 2022, or you are waiting for for things to settle down? I got tickets booked for 2022. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're working on some things. Right now, our next show is in Los Angeles next month. Wait,
Okay.
next month? Yeah. And I think we've got some things in the works, but yeah, right now we're just focused on putting this music out, and you know, oh, shit.
yeah, I think we're gonna have a little bit more patience again. Do a couple shows here in LA, and then see where that goes. But it's, yeah, let the music kind of speak for itself and let it kind of like sink in, and then when it's kind of clear, you know, I think the first place we want to go to is Italy. That's for me personally. So should probably look into that soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the people they're waiting for you over there. So now you don't have excuses to don't come to Italy. 2022, or even before, if you managed actually to get something before, guys. Cool.
I hope so.
Right, guys. Thank you very much for your time. I'm done.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you for everything. What we will do, I will try to transcript everything as much as I can. I'll have a look actually how the quality of this one came out. Maybe we're just gonna put it like video on, if you were for the English version, if you're okay with that. I mean, I will actually ask you for your approval first. Okay, no, just checking what he's doing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, just checking Sebastian, what is he doing around the set? And okay, it's just showing us things. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
You want to see the hand? Let's see Sebastian. Anyway, yeah, cool. And I will keep in touch with you as soon as possible. Okay.
Cool, man. If you need anything from us, but you know, just reach out to whoever, management or something.
Yeah, I will reach to Laura and I will let you know if I need any kind of clarification.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
This is lovely. Thank you very much for your time, guys.
Thank you, man. Thank
Cheers.
you.